Let's welcome Kathy.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Cassie, and today I will be introducing Miyazaki Hayao. But I believe most of you don't know who he is just from his name. But I believe after showing the next slide, all of you will know who he is. So this is My Neighbor Totoro, and Miyazaki is the one we're thinking right now. He's the director of My Neighbor Totoro, also the founder of the Studio Ghibli. And for today's content, I will be introducing some background information about him and why did I choose him. And then for today's main discussion, I would like to focus on some ideology he instilled into his works. And I would like to focus on three main points, which are feminism, anti-war, and environmentalism in his films. And I will give a quick conclusion and Q&A session. Let's go with introduction first. So Miyazaki Hayao, he was born on January 5th, 1941 in Tokyo, Japan. He was born in World War II era. And in his early life, his father actually affected his works very much, but I would like to leave it to later. And then he started his job as an animator at Toy Studio after graduating from college. If you don't know what Toy Studio is, this is the this is the trademark of Toy Studio, and this is also the studio that produced the One Piece series and Dragon Ball series. And after he gained a huge success from his movie Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, he launched Ghibli in 1985 with his best friend Takahata, another famous director in Japan. And after that, he directed for over 10 feature-length animated films. And he was also nominated as Top 100 Influential in 2005, also in 2024. Then, why did I choose Miyazaki? There are two reasons. First, of course, he's a very renowned director, and I always love his works. And also, there are always many discussions about his films, and I'm always curious about. And he has many famous productions like My Neighbor Totoro, Castle in the Sky, Spirited Away, and Ponyo. And I believe these are the movies that filled our childhood. And also, there are many discussions which lead us to our next topic, the main discussion. Today, I would like to focus on feminism, anti-war, and environmentalism. So, before diving into feminism, I would like to be clear about the definition. In the very beginning, the definition of feminism is simply described as fighting for women's rights and opportunity. And now it is developed into equality of all the sexes and gender. Then what are the feminism in his films? Like we all know that in the past, most main characters in the movies, especially in war movies and hero movies, are male characters. But in Miyazaki's movies, female are always the strong characters in the movie. Like we can see Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. She's a fighter and she's a woman that against stereotypes. And another interesting character is Chihiro from Spirited Away. And Chihiro is a very realistic depiction of women because in the beginning of the movie, he's a very fragile and tiny little girl, just like most teenage girls in the world. But after all the adventures she'd been through in the movie, she became a very strong and brave warrior, and of course she saved her parents by herself. And as for middle-aged female characters in the movie, like Dola in The Castle in the Sky, she also against stereotype, and she also provide and protect the family. And also, the females in Miyazaki's films usually have jobs, like Kiki in Kiki's Delivery Service. Then why are there feminism in his works? Because the first reason, he was born in World War II times, and this is also the time when feminism started to develop in Europe. And also, still was the time when females started to have jobs, like this very famous advertisement in the United States. Because in World War II times, male usually are going for wars, right? So females started to have jobs like working in a restaurant or building for airplanes or military weapons. And also, Miyazaki is strongly inspired by his mother. His mother is a very brave female, and she takes care of the family when his father was gone for work. And also in the late years of his mother's life, she was struggled from disease. And as Miyazaki mentioned, she characters based on the image of his mother, like Sophie in the Howl's Moving Castle and Risa from Ponyo. And next topic is about anti-war. So the definition of anti-war is very clear, just opposed to war. And actually, Miyazaki's movies are always famous about having many anti-war messages. Like in The Wind Rises, this is a movie talking about World War II. The main character, Jiro, is an airplane designer for fighter planes in Japan in World War II. And this movie is a virtual biography movie. And I think it's inspired by Miyazaki's own story, and I will discuss about that later. And another movie is Porco Rosso. This is actually a famous anti-war movie of Miyazaki. And as he mentioned, he stated that this movie is relevant to Gulf War before the movie release. If you don't know what Gulf is, this is Gulf. And this movie actually talked about fascists because in this movie, the main character was cursed to be having a pig's head for no reason. But in the movie, there's a very classic line when the main character said, "I'd rather be the pig than the fascist." And the main character is also a retired Italian pilot from World War I. Then why are there anti-war in his movies? First, there are always a very key element in his movie, which is airplane, because Miyazaki's father is an airplane manufacturer in World War II, and it's very conflicting for Miyazaki to love something so devastating in World War II. And also, he was born in war era, and also post-war Japan embraces pacifism, which is a belief in peace. And these are all the elements that influence him to instill so many anti-war ideology into his movies. And the next topic is environmentalism. So environmentalism is a belief or movement to protect the quality of nature. And we all know that there are many natural scenes and elements in Miyazaki's movie. Like in Princess Mononoke, this is the story that is talking about 15th century Japan. And this is a very not classical environmentalism movie because it talked about animism, which is belief that everything possesses an essence or spirit. And this story describes the relationship between human and nature and how we should find a balance between it rather than fighting the winner or the loser in this competition. And the next movie is My Neighbor Totoro. And this movie has many forest and hill scenes. And also there's a very important element in the movie, which is the secret camphor tree. And in this movie, there are actually many Japanese Shinto religion elements. Like they believe that just a little bit similar to animism, they believe that medicine possesses a spiritual meaning. So they actually they pay tribute to these natural elements. And aside from these topics that I mentioned about, there are actually many discussions about these films, but due to time limitation, I can't talk about it much. So let's go to conclusion. So I would like to conclude about why Miyazaki is influential to me, because he brings the magic of Ghibli to the world. Like his childhood affected his work very much, like his father, and he was born in World War II. These are all the elements that influence his work. And also there are many beautiful natural scenes and magical scenes in his movie. At the same time, there are many ideology in his movie. I think he brings the best of the human and also the worst of the human in his movie. And there are many Shinto elements in his movie, like in Spirited Away, and like I mentioned, Princess Mononoke. There are many interesting Shinto elements. And also Ghibli is being called as Eastern Disney because I think the magic of Ghibli is how they bring new perspective to the world. And this is a reflection. So when I was searching for news about anti-war in his movies, I kept thinking about Attack on Titan, because this is also a story about wars, but it also conveys anti-war messages. So I think it's interesting how people will convey anti-war messages while depicting war scenes. And yeah, I love Miyazaki because how he brings fresh perspective to the world and in fact, shaped my way of viewing the world when I was a kid. And this is the end of my introduction. Thank you.
Have you seen the latest Ghibli animation?
No.
The Boy and the Hero. No?
Yeah, I heard about it, but never seen it.
Yeah, I've never saw it too.
And why didn't you see it?
Too busy.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I also like one of his works called The Grave of Fireflies.
Oh, no, that's not his movie.
That's not his
That's
movie?
Takahata's movie, which is
Oh, really?
his friend.
But I thought it was Ghibli's.
Yeah, it's Ghibli production, but he's not a director.
Okay, okay.
Do you think The Boy and the Hero is his last work?
I don't think so.
I don't think.
His last retire was the Wind Rises. When before the Wind Rises release, he said that this will be his last work. But then the Boy and the Hero released, so I don't think he's gonna retire at all.
So I think a lot of people like in the industry, like although we really like his work, but a lot of people say he is actually kind of a person who is not really good to cooperate or something like that. Yeah.
I never heard that before.
Yeah. Like people say he's very hard to cooperate, to communicate. Very hard to communicate.
Oh,
Yes.
I never heard of it.
Okay.
I guess most of the artists are very difficult.
Yeah.
I have a question. I think right now, maybe with AI, people argue that you can use AI to complete most of the animations on the computer. We know Ghibli Studio has been insisting on hand drawing, right, when they try to produce the animations. So how long do you think they can continue doing so? But I think because now, most of the Ghibli Studio staff is aging really fast. And I think it's also hard for them to find new blood. So I wonder how this may affect maybe the quality and also maybe the speed of their production in the future.
So I'm not sure about your question.
We know, the feature of Ghibli production is that they use hand drawing to complete the whole animation, right, instead of using computer animation. But this will take really a lot of time and huge effort. I think as most of the members of the studio is getting old, I wonder for how long do you think they can still persist in this kind of practice?
I think at this when Miyazaki is still alive, it is still possible for them to produce such high quality productions. And I think many people love his work, so many people will try to learn his style. So his style. So I think maybe Studio Ghibli cannot keep producing this kind of high quality production, but other people will try to learn their style.
So if one day, if Ghibli decided to adopt maybe AI animation to produce their works, would that somehow change your view regarding their works?
I don't think it will affect pretty much. Like they actually released a 3D movie, but I've never seen it before. Yeah, so maybe I don't like it. I don't like this style.
Okay, good. Any further questions or comments? Yes?
Have you watched his son's works?
His son?
Miyazaki Goro,
Uh,
like 地战记.
oh, that's his production.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
top three of his work.
Huh?
The top three.
Top three.
Top three.
You mean I have to name top three of his
Yeah.
works? Okay, first one, My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh.
Yeah, very cute. And then maybe Shoot It Away and Howl's Moving Castle. What do you think?
I think I'll take Moving Castle for the second place.
And maybe the neighborhood Totoro. Well, not that high.
And the first one I would take
Shoot It Away.
Spirited Away.
I'll,
Oh, Spirited Away.
I'll take it first.
I guess everyone has his or her own top three, right? When it comes to Miyazaki's works. Good. Any further questions or comments?
Can you tell some of message about feminism, about like message from him, his work? So, can you like introduce some of his message from his work about feminism?
The feminism, I think, this movie was released in 1980 something. So at the time, it is already very unconventional for him to create such unconventional character, which is very independent and strong. I read an article about feminism in his works, and there's a line I remember when the author said, "These female characters in his movies all possesses traditional male characteristics, but not having the intention to be close to men," which means I think it is already very groundbreaking for him to instill so many traditional male characteristics into female characters.
So it's just the change from the male character to female. To have having more female character. So is that a message?
I don't think the message is about having more female character. It's how female character in his movie plays such significant role and how they affected the movie so much.
What I think is that in 1980s is about the fourth feminism is about LGBTQ. So maybe I think in that time there is something like this in maybe his movie or his movie. For that, it's like a more traditional feminism form.
Oh.
I think I agree with what David said. I guess maybe he hasn't dealt with LGBTQ issues in his animations yet, right? Even though his definition of feminism is maybe broader, but I guess we don't really see how he depicts, for example, homosexuality in his works yet. Maybe this will show in his next movie, maybe. So we'll see. Good. Any further questions or comments? Okay. If not, then thank you very much for the presentation.